Okay, everyone, we are going to be comparing two of the game's only healers in the Star Trek Attack Wing. Now, there might be some other ships still out there. I'm still discovering some of the older expansions that came out before I joined, but we're going to be comparing two of the newer ones actually. And if they didn't slow down production, maybe there's a lot more healers that they're planning on putting out. But at this point in the game, I think there's only two. First one up, Mirok Science Vessel. It's a tier 1 ship, so it can be one-shotted by like a tier 4, tier 5. It's a 1 attack, 2 defense, 2 hull, 2 shields. I would say the 2-2 for the hull and shields is pretty good for a tier 1. The fact that it's a Romulan, so it has the cloak. It's got evade, sensor, echo, scan, and cloak, so you're going to be having 6 defense dice, which is nice. Honestly, if you play this ship, don't attack with it. Just don't attack. Fly close to the enemy, not the enemy, sorry, close to your main stage warships, and just heal them using the action, which is target a friendly ship within range 1 to 2, repair 1 shield or 1 hull on the target ship. The fact that this ship is a tier 1 and not a threat is, I would say, one of its advantages. It can focus on defensive abilities because it's not powerful enough to really be a threat. And the fact that it's not a threat means that it will be able to stay in the battle, supporting longer. Now, some players may look at that as a threat on its own, saying, oh, hey, it's going to undo all the damage I'm doing, let's kill it. However, if you're in a combat with someone who's more about just overwhelming dice, then this is just going to be more of a war of attrition ship in the end. It's just going to draw the battle out. In terms, I actually like its action bar, because I find a lot of tier 1 ships like shuttlecraft or like the early Enterprise era ships, even some tier 2 Enterprise era ships, they fall flat in their action bars. Their action bars are very limited. This action bar is it's just your standard Romulan action bar. It's replaced the target lock with a scan. All right. Oh, and point-wise, it's 10 points for the named, 6 points for the generic. That's great. Not sure why you would fly a 6-point generic, unless you just wanted to fill out your numbers. And I mean, it would be fun. Like, I mean, it's just like, oh, hey, I got some points left over. Let's throw an entire starship on the board for 6 points. So I like that aspect of it. Now, this, if you were to compare this to like a game or something, this is definitely a healer. Its only job is to heal. It doesn't have enough upgrade slots for it to really be, for you to turn it into anything really dangerous. And its base attacks without the healing ability is not really worth anything. Now we're moving on to what I would consider the Cleric. And anyone who's played D&D knows clerics, or at least newer D&D, knows that clerics aren't just healers. Clerics make some of the most powerful fighters, essentially. And that is the case for Scout 609, the Borg Garden Shed. It has the exact same named ability. And you actually don't see that often. Normally ships don't copy named abilities. They just, they usually will try to reword it or do it something. But no, it is the exact same word for word, same formatting, everything. Action, target a friendly ship within range 1 to 2, repair 1 shield and 1 hull on the target ship. It's 22 points, so it's over twice as much as Mirok Science Vessel, but you are getting way more bang for your buck with this. Unlike Mirok Science Vessel, its maneuvers are terrible because it's a Borg Scout Cube. If you aren't playing with the official Borg nerf, then its movements are good, because Borg movements are great if they get to move, turn, and then move, but now they have to move and then turn. So its movements aren't that good because it's either going to go forward or backwards. That being said, it is a 3-3-2-4, so it's like, whenever I think of the Scout Cube, I think, oh, that's a tier 2 ship, because I hear people bash it all the time, so in my head I think, oh, it's the tier 2 ships. Tier 2 ships usually are not that good. But no, it's a tier 3. It's straight up a tier 3. It's got 6 durability. It's hard to kill because it's got a 3 agility, and it's got a 3 offense. So it's up there with, like, in terms of offensive power, it's like a Constitution class. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's there. Its durability is actually kind of, well, no, tier 2 ships, like Federation tier 3s, I think usually are 3 hull, 3 shields. This is 2 hull, 4 shields, so it is definitely susceptible to any anti-shield based weaponry, like the Klingons' special attacks that cut through shields, even Borg attacks that cut through shields, Vadine attacks that cut through shields. So this guy will die very quickly once its shields go down, but because it isn't a cloaking vessel, it's going to keep its shields up, and there's Borg upgrades which can make it very hard to kill, and that's actually where this thing gets really good, is its slot loadout. You have, whereas on the science vessel you have a crew and a tech, and if you go generic you lose the tech, which is kind of silly because it's a science vessel, you think it would keep the tech. On this you have a crew, weapon, tech, and Borg upgrade. If you go generic for 17 points, you just lose the weapon. But that's one of every slot right there, and you can do a lot with one of every slot, because even if you don't have the slots you need, you can sacrifice the slots you don't need to try and get other slots. You might have to cross faction a bit in order to get the slot loadout you want, but if you work hard enough, you can rearrange the slot loadout with special cards, special captains. But the real kicker is this Scout Cube does not have a restriction on the point level for Borg upgrades. And Borg upgrades are usually used to make tough ships into absolute monsters. You can take this rinky-dinky tier 3 and throw on, let's say, what's the classic one? A blade of all hull armor, adding another 4 hull to it. Now it's a tank with 1 upgrade. There's all sorts of Borg upgrades. If you go check out the Borg pack, there are so many upgrades in those things. Unfortunately, most of them are unique, which is a downer. But you can turn this ship into a powerful tanking warship. I would say its offense is going to always be lacking, because it is a 3. You could try to put upgrades on there to crank its offense up, but you'd need a really good secondary weapon to do that. And even then, it's a secondary weapon, so it's probably not going to be attacking every turn at that strength. However, again, it's primarily supposed to be a healer. So you don't need it to be an absolute tank of destruction. Although if you do want it to pack a punch, there is technological distinctiveness from the Borg pack. You could pump this ship from a 3 attack into a 6 attack, with just 1 upgrade. It would take about 3 turns in order to get it to that strength, but it's a healer, so you could have it hold back at the back lines of the battlefield while your spheres or Regent's flagships, if you're cross-factioning, fly in, shoot up the enemy. Then you fly up, you start healing, and then you pepper away. Now, again, the downside is if you turn this ship into an offensive healer, then you are still only having 6 health. But it's a Borg ship, so you get shot up, you retreat, you take the regenerate action, and then you're good to go. If you can throw a captain on here or an admiral who gives you free actions, there's one of the Borg queens give you free actions, or gives other ships free actions, then yeah, You can try to heal up and heal others. And if you are flying this in a Borg fleet, you can pair it up with a ship that is equipped with distribution nodes, so it can actually vampire health from your healer into itself. So yeah, if I had a choice between whether to run Murok Science Vessel or Scout 06 as healers, I would run Scout 06. It's twice the points, but you get so much more. However, that being said, in order to turn Scout 06 into a monster, it's going to cost you a lot of points. However, even without all the upgrades you can throw on it to make it crazy, Scout 06 is still much better than a tier 1 ship. I'm just thinking to myself, like the Divine or Montgolfier, those are tier 3s. And Scout 06 is up there with them. Again, its maneuverability is kind of trash, but and it can attack at range 3. So you're going to want to throw a range 3 weapon. Actually, I would suggest throwing on a 360 range 3 weapon. And even if you don't own a weapon that says 360, if you own any weapon that says fire outside of your forward firing arc, like the Kazon aft torpedo launcher, if you throw those on a Borg ship, because they don't have forward firing arcs, it becomes a 360 weapon. So yeah, that I believe is pretty much everything for this episode. Except for one last thing I want to say. Imagine running both of these. Not healing a big warship, just healing each other. It might be good for missions where you have to survive a long time. Just run 2 healers healing each other back and forth. Stack them up with support upgrades. Maybe throw a couple Andorian ships in there. Andorian ships are really good at helping other ships. So yeah, get both Andorian ships and then get both these healers, and you've got like the socialist fleet. Anyway, have a good day.